Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, lead us from the unreal to the real, lead us from darkness unto light, lead us from death to immortality. Om, peace, peace, peace. Yeah, sound. So, should we shut this door or better to shut the door? If we keep that making a lot of sound. Yeah. So we'll do a meditation. So somebody had raised their hand. Did you want to ask something? Yes.
Can I ask one thing? So you have mentioned that mind is convinced. You have used that phrase.
Yes.
So what part for the meditation? What should I mean? Is that what I have to do? Convince my mind that I am Brahman?
No, convincing your mind that you are Brahman is already supposed to be done in the hearing and reasoning part of it. I have clarity about it. I'm convinced about it. I have got what I understand what is meant. Now I have to stay with the clarity. Suppose you say I'm not convinced. In that case, I have to ask, why am I not convinced? Then why am I not convinced? Those questions have to be raised and answered. That is the earlier stage of reasoning. Because we are doing a separate meditation session retreat here, I'm giving some reasoning, but generally one is not supposed to reason at this stage. One has a clarity. I am the witness of this body-mind. I am limitless awareness in which the world appears. Now the goal in this retreat and in non-dual meditation is to stay with that. Suppose I have doubts, then that goes back to the reasoning. You can ask, but it's the reasoning phase. Then somebody may not even have doubts. Why? Because one has not even heard, not that one is convinced. The hearing is not complete yet. What are you talking about here? Then you have to go back to the first stage, the hearing. What is it that we are teaching? And in Vedanta, the three, hearing, reasoning and meditation, which is the most important? Hearing. Even for enlightenment, hearing is the most important. In the tradition, it is said, Shravanat eva jnanam. From hearing comes enlightenment. What about reasoning? What about meditation? Please sit. So reasoning and meditation are for removing obstacles to enlightenment. There is one kind of obstacle which says, I don't get it. I heard it. I know the teaching. I've read the books, heard the YouTube talks. But I'm not convinced. Then for you, the obstacle is lack of conviction. The obstacle is confusion. The obstacle is vague understanding. So that has to be removed through reasoning, second, until I have clarity. I know what you're talking about. Then the third one is the meditation. That's also for removing an obstacle. What's the obstacle? I have clarity, but I do not behave the way an enlightened person behaves. I don't feel enlightened. I don't feel that I am Brahman. It's not real for me. I am not getting the benefits of enlightenment. What was promised at the very beginning, the positive and the negative benefits. The negative benefits, overcoming suffering. Positive benefits, attainment of deep and lasting fulfillment. So for that, meditation is there.
Swamiji, how do you extend that beyond the 30 minutes of meditation?
Yes.
And make it...
How do you extend that? Yesterday we tried doing that. Today also we will try doing that. This is what I want to say, that first of all, make the meditation successful, and then notice that this limitless consciousness which we are talking about, our nature as existence consciousness, it exists when we open our eyes also. We'll do that today also. The goal is to erase the margin, the boundary between meditation and life. That's most easy in Vedanta. Not so in, say, practice of yoga, for example. In yoga, you might have a samadhi practice. It's absolutely not easy to carry that into life when you open your eyes and you are not sitting in your lotus posture. But in Vedanta, it's possible. Because what we are talking about in Vedanta, your nature as pure consciousness, is there all the time anyway. It's always there. It's there right now. The diamond is always there with the washerman, whether the washerman knows its value or not. We are that. So you are that whether you're in a retreat, you are that when you are doing the hearing, you are that when you are doing the reasoning, you are that when you're doing the meditation, you are that when you walk outside, go to the dining hall. Being that does not mean you have to keep thinking about it. Just as I'm Sarva Priyananda, but I'm not always thinking that I'm Sarva Priyananda. It's not that I spend an hour in the morning, an hour in the evening meditating on I am Sarva Priyananda, repeating the Sarva Priyananda mantra. No. It's not necessary. I know. Anytime you ask me, I'll tell you. And that's also conditioning. It's a name that was given to me when I became a monk. And that's become so natural for me. Whereas our real nature as pure consciousness should be directly obvious. Even Sarva Priyananda depends on memory. If I lose my memory, I won't remember I am Sarva Priyananda. But your nature as pure consciousness does not depend on memory. Even if I lose my memory, the awareness that I am awareness, I am clearly aware that I have no memory. That awareness which reveals the non-functioning of the memory, that I am. So that is always obvious and always available to me.
So in Alzheimer's also?
In Alzheimer's also. I remember this gentleman who attends to people who have Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, elderly people in Switzerland. So he told me, he said, Swami, this country is fast becoming a senior center, senior care center. Older people and requiring more care, nobody to look after them, fewer and fewer people to look after them. So he says, I know this very sweet old lady who was close to the Vedanta movement decades ago. She knew Swami Nikhilananda and all. And now she's losing her memory. I tell her stories of what she said to Swami Nikhilananda and this Swami and that Swami, and she says with the sweetest of smiles, oh really? Did I say that? She has no memory at all. But is she aware? Of course. That this gentleman told me, it's my work with Alzheimer's patients, Parkinson's patients, people are losing control of the body, people are losing their memory, their faculties, which convinces me of the truth of Vedanta, because I see they're clearly that they are there. It's just that these things have stopped working. The part of which is connected to the physiology, the neurology, these things have stopped working. They're clearly there. See, people who say, no, they are not there, they don't recognize me, they don't even know anything about themselves, you're mixing up their presence as awareness with the mind. Even the mind, parts of the mind may be gone. That person may not recognize their own children. I know people who don't recognize their own children. But they are aware, they're very much aware. The enlightened person's awareness is always constant, in the midst of severe brain damage also. It may not be obvious from outside. Internally they are fine.
How is it different from life force?
Life force is prana. That's also an object. See, you breathe in. This is an object, you are aware of it. Whatever you are aware of is an object. That which is aware is consciousness. Life force is prana. That which keeps this body alive. It's becoming into a question-answer session.
I don't know what to meditate on.
No, this is not good. That we don't know what to meditate on. No, you meditate on your own existence, on your own awareness. So, we will do that now. Meditation. This meditation will have 3 parts, as usual. First part is deep relaxation. Then those who have done yoga, you notice that the first part of what I did is just a shorter, a light, yoga nidra light, a light version of yoga nidra. To access, to gain the full benefits of that, you need to do the real yoga nidra, which the yoga teacher, any yoga teacher will teach you that. How to do in the corpse position. The whole exercise takes about 40-45 minutes, the full yoga nidra thing. We are doing it in only 10 minutes here. But still you feel the deep calmness and relaxation. So that's stage 1. Stage 2 will be the non-dual meditation. Stage 2 will be the non-dual meditation. Then the stage 3 will be taking it out into the world. You ask this question, how do you take it out into the world? And the answer is very simple. You just leave the meditation with the noticing that what was there during meditation is also there now. What was there with eyes closed is also there with eyes open. Notice it, and is it not true? If that's true, then it's available to you there in the dining hall, in the parking lot, in Phoenix, everywhere. It's available to you everywhere. Vivekananda says the goal of Vedanta is the deepest calmness in the midst of intense activity. Can you be busy working in Wall Street, in Times Square, in the midst of tremendous activity and busyness, and your mind is a Himalayan calm? How can you do that? He says the iconography of, in the Gita, Krishna holding the chariot, the 5 horses, holding the reins of the 5 horses in the chariot, the war chariot, and Arjuna standing in the midst of 2 armies about to start a war, and the smile on the face of Krishna. That's Vedanta. That's the effect of Vedanta. One Swami put it beautifully. He says Vedanta is the journey from what to so what. Good. That the change in that reaction. That's what Vedanta does for you. Not in a dismissive way. You're fully engaged. In fact, after Vedanta, Arjuna wanted to abandon the entire enterprise of the war. Krishna convinced him to do what was necessary, still be active in the middle of life, and yet the benefit of Vedanta is there. The utter peace inside. Okay. Now we sit in a relaxed way. What we will do is a full exercise, then the meditation, then at some point you will hear some gentle meditation music that will be just as a support, and then some minutes of silence, and then we will come out of it. 3 stages: relaxation, non-dual meditation. 3rd is taking it out into life. Now closing our eyes and relaxed. Sitting still, not rigid. You feel like adjusting something, you can do, but make an effort to be still. Breathing normally. Now we will relax the body. I'll go through the body scan of Yoga Nidra, starting with the left foot. As I mention the name of the body part, please visualize that part and feel it is relaxed. You can feel it is getting heavier. That will also do the job of relaxation. Left foot, big toe, relax. Left foot, first, second, third, little toe, relaxed. Bottom of the left foot, top, relax. Left ankle, relax. Left lower leg from the knee to the ankle, relax. Left knee, relax. Left upper leg from the knee to the waist, relax. Right foot, big toe, relax. First, second, third, little toe, relax. Bottom of the right foot, top, ankle, right ankle, relax. From the right ankle to the right knee, relax. Right knee, relax. From the knee to the waist, relax. Whole left leg, relax. Whole right leg, relax. Waist, relax. Breathing normally awake, listening. Tummy, relax. Chest, relax. Lower back, relax. Upper back, relax. Left shoulder, relax. Right shoulder, relax. Left hand, thumb, first finger, second, third, little finger, relax. Left palm, relax. Left wrist, relax. Left hand, left arm from the wrist to the elbow, relax. Left elbow, relaxed. Left arm from the elbow to the shoulder, relax. Right hand, thumb, relaxed. First finger, second, third. Little finger, relaxed. Right palm, relaxed. Right arm, the wrist, relaxed. From the wrist to the elbow, relaxed. Right elbow, relaxed. From the elbow to the shoulder, relaxed. Whole left arm, relax. Whole right arm, relaxed. Breathing normally, awake. Back of the neck, relax. Front of the neck, relax. Back of the head, top of the head, relax. Forehead, relax. Right eyebrow relaxed, left eyebrow. Right eyelid, relax, feel it getting heavy. Left eyelid, relaxed and getting heavy. Right eyeball, relaxed, left eyeball, relaxed. Nose, relaxed. Left cheek, relax. Right cheek, relaxed. Chin, relaxed. Upper lip, lower lip, relaxed. Upper jaw, lower jaw, relax the muscles of the jaw and the mouth. The tongue in the mouth, relax. Left ear, right ear, relax. Whole face, relax. Breathing normally. Whole lower body, relax, getting heavy. Whole upper body, relax, getting heavy. Whole body, relax. Let it loose and heavy. Whole body, relax. Breathing normally. Gently direct the attention to the nose and the breath at the nose. Don't control the breath. Short breath, let it be short. Long breath, let it be long. Just note the in-breath and the out-breath at the nose. When the breath comes in, count 1. When the breath goes out, count 2, 3, 4, like that. Up to 10. Count the breath at the nose. Relaxed, heavy. Imagine now that the world has disappeared. I have no parents. I have no children. Imagine I have no house or property. No relatives, no job or the need of a job. In fact, everything outside this room has disappeared, and everyone. The body too disappears. I do not see anything without seeing anything, without hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, anything at all. Now my memory fades away. I do not remember anything, not even my own name, nor anybody else. My thinking stops, no thought comes to mind. The mind is still. Without seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, without thinking of anything, remembering anything, I still exist as awareness, as this light of awareness. I am and I shine. This awareness, what desires does it have? Nothing, without any thought or memory, without any sensation, no desires. What fears does it have? Without the existence of anybody or anything else, what fear could it have? Without the mind, what fear could it have? No fear, no anxiety. What about expectations? This bare awareness which I am, is it waiting for anything to happen? Nothing. It does not want anything, it does not wait for anything. It just is and it shines. That I am, that awareness. It's not afraid of anybody, nor jealous of anybody. Is it sad? Is it happy? It's certainly peaceful. Without anything, I'm still there as awareness itself. It has no enemies, nor is it an enemy to anybody. There is nobody else. This bare awareness I am, without thought, emotion, memory, without perception. This awareness, note, what caste does this awareness belong to? What race, what gender? This bare awareness without thought, memory or perception. Does it have any political affiliation? Is it Hindu or Christian? What lineage does it belong to? What are its bad characteristics? What are its sins? Nothing. Space and time and object float in this awareness. Right now there is nothing in this awareness, just bare awareness. Can language refer to it? I know what is being pointed out because I am it, but it's beyond language. What is it made of? As a body I am made of flesh and blood, but this bare awareness, what's it made of? It's just made of awareness, existence. It is and it shines. Breathing normally, relaxed. Now listen. In this awareness, I am aware of sounds. In the room, outside the room. These sounds arise in the awareness, in me the awareness. They float around in me the awareness and disappear back into me the awareness. There is no sense of these sounds exist outside awareness. This is a subtle point, let us notice it carefully. Fix on a sound. Don't try to imagine, for example, there is water and water falling. No, just the sound of it. Notice, here is a subtle point. Notice, there is no information in my awareness that there is an outside and outside there is a waterfall and the sound is coming from that. All that is the mind talking. But my experience itself is the sound of the waterfall, the sound of water in awareness. It is something in awareness. I have no information of it existing by itself outside awareness. That which exists in awareness and is experienced only in awareness, it must be pervaded by awareness. It is awareness alone which is appearing in the name and form of the waterfall sound. Exactly like that are the other sounds. They are appearing in awareness and nothing other than awareness, dressed up as those sounds. And so in the world, when objects appear, time and space appears, not just sounds, sights, smells, touch, taste, they all appear as sensations in awareness, pervaded by awareness, and nothing other than awareness. All those objects I am. I, the awareness, I am all those objects. They are not separate from me. All that awareness experiences are arisings and subsidings in awareness, whether it is sight, smell, taste, touch, thought, emotion, idea, pleasure, pain. They are nothing but awareness. I am that awareness. Stay as the light of awareness. Desha, kala, vastu, time, space and object, all are appearances in awareness. Awareness has no limit in space because space appears in awareness. This awareness has no limit in time because time appears in awareness. There is no object apart from this awareness because all the objects experienced by awareness are experienced in awareness, not as separate from awareness. Thus I experience the world. Now you will gently hear the music starting. Use the music, notice, listen to it as arising in awareness. As the music disappears, notice immediately. It is the same awareness which experienced the music. It is the same awareness experiencing the silence. Just like the music, very soon the universe will appear in awareness. Sights will appear, people will appear, smell and taste and touch and sound will appear. Thoughts will appear, emotions will appear, relations will appear. They're all like the music, remember. You are the awareness. Your own body will appear. They're all part of the music called the universe. And sometimes it will all disappear. In deep sleep, the music will stop. You're still the same awareness. Relaxed, breathing normally. I am awareness, Atman, Brahman, consciousness. The universe, body, other people are like the music which appears and disappears in awareness. Relaxed, breathing normally. Very soon we will chant Om 3 times together, and thereafter we will gently open the eyes. Just like the music arising in awareness, the whole world will arise in us. Sense of the body, breath, sights and sounds, people and objects, actions, thoughts, memories, they are all part of the music of the universe. Remember, you are the awareness, you are the ground, the support of that music. It is nothing other than you. Even the individual person is also part of that music. I am the impersonal awareness. When we are comfortable, we will gently open our eyes. Don't look up immediately. Notice that when we open our eyes, nothing at all has changed. It's like the music starting in the awareness. The same awareness exists with eyes closed and eyes open. Gently When you are ready, you can open your eyes. This appearance which has appeared before you now, let us try to feel one with it. What is Vedanta? I'll tell you in Hindi and translate. Very profound. It is oneness. Oneness in what sense? जहाँ अधिष्ठान और आधेय एक है वो सत है, जहाँ दृष्टा और दृश्य एक है वो चित्त है, जहाँ भोक्ता और भोग्य एक है वो आनंद है. What does that mean? Where the ground and the supported, the supporting ground and the supported are one. Usually they are two. My hand is the support and the book is the supported. They are two different things. But where they are one, where are they one? For example, the wood and the table. The table is supported, don't say by the floor. The table there is supported by the wood. In the sense, the table is just a name and a form and an activity imposed on the wood. It's just the wood, but it's one. You notice? You can't separate the table from the wood. Similarly, all existing things in the universe, they are like the table. And existence is like the wood. They are one. You are that existence. This is called Sat. Then second, the Drashta and Drishya. So far we have been separating. I am the seer and this is the seen. I am the subject, this is the object. I am awareness, this is the object. I am not the object. But now we are saying where the object and the subject are the same, where object and consciousness are the same. Notice, in the dream or in the mirror, the city in the mirror is exactly the same as the mirror. In the mirror. All the objects in the dream are exactly the same as the dreaming mind. They don't exist apart from the dreaming mind. The seen and the seer are same in the dream. Here also, in consciousness and its objects, they are nothing apart from you. That's the point I was trying to make. When you hear the music in just still awareness and the music arises, notice the quality of that as not something where we have any information that I am conscious and beyond that consciousness there's a music which is coming into me. No, it felt as if it arose in consciousness, in me. Drashta and Drishya are one. The seer and the seen, the subject and the object, consciousness and its object are one. Notice, there's a subtle point here. You might have said, till now you've been telling us, I am not an object. I am separate. Because it's an object, I'm separate from. The body is an object, so I'm separate from it. The mind is an object, so I'm separate from it. Consciousness is separate from its objects. Did you not tell us all this till now? Yes, that's true. But I never told you the opposite. That the object is separate from consciousness. There are two statements. Consciousness is separate from the object. Object is separate from the consciousness. No. Consciousness separate from the object. But object is not separate from consciousness. Wood is separate from the table. It can be a block of wood without being a table. One day the table will be destroyed, it will still be wood, a broken table. The table cannot be separated from the wood. The wood can be separated from the table. If you break it, it's still wood, but it's not a table. Similarly, consciousness and its object. Consciousness is not the object, but the object is nothing other than consciousness. It's made of consciousness. Where consciousness and its objects are one, that is called Chit, pure consciousness. That Chit, pure consciousness, you are. Where the enjoyer and the enjoyed are one. This is difficult to grasp. Usually the enjoyer and the enjoyed are separate. That's why we enjoy it. I am separate and the food there is separate. That's why I'm going to go and get me some food. But here, that which consciousness enjoys and gets bliss out of is nothing other than itself. Dressed up as the music. Dressed up as the universe. Everything here is the honey. What is the honey? Consciousness itself. The winds blow honey. The day and the night are honey. The sun showers honey upon us. So does the moon and the fire. The very dust of the earth is honey. Honey means this existence consciousness. So this is called Ananda, bliss, where the enjoyer and the enjoyed, Bhokta and Bhogya, enjoyer and the enjoyed, the consumer and the consumed are one. And that is called bliss, Ananda. That Ananda you are. We experience that Ananda in different ways. We dress it up as a cookie and we say cookie Ananda. Yeah. Example is this. Ghatakasha, Mathakasha, they say in Sanskrit. The space limited by a pot, the space limited by the monastery. So we have a space limited by the meditation hall, the space limited by the dining hall, and just space itself, the vast space itself, Akasha. Meditation hall Akasha, dining hall Akasha, and just Akasha. In Sanskrit, meditation hall Avachinna Akasha, dining hall Avachinna Akasha, and Anavachinna Akasha. The Akasha, the space limited by the meditation hall, the space limited by the dining hall, and the unlimited space. But the space limited by the meditation hall only seems to be limited. It's not that there is some space in the meditation hall, rather the meditation hall is in space. Just these walls, they only appear to cut off this space, this room and that room. Because of the walls, it's not really that space has been cut off. Walls exist in space. Space doesn't exist within these walls. Space exists by itself. Space has not been limited. It only appears to be limited. Space limited by these walls, we call it meditation hall space. Space limited by those walls, we call it dining hall space. We give it a separate name, it looks different, and we have different use for it. But what is it actually? It is unlimited space. The space out there in the vast blue sky, is exactly the space here. Similarly, what's the point I'm making? Cookie Ananda and Candy Ananda and bliss, Brahmananda, are exactly the same bliss. For the unenlightened person, it's Cookie Ananda and Candy Ananda. For the enlightened person, even while eating a cookie, it's Brahmananda. Just like we are sitting here in space, we know it's the same space. It's not a different space. And for the unenlightened person, if you present Brahmananda also, you will say it's Cookie Ananda. You will not, the attention is on the cookie, attention is on the candy, attention is not on the Ananda. So remember this, where the supporter and the supported, the ground and the supported are one, that is Sat. Where the seer and the seen, the subject and the object are one, that is Chit. Where the consumer and consumed, enjoyer and enjoyed are one, that is Ananda. Otherwise, if you split them up, that is Samsara. Let's put it in another way. This is a Buddhist formulation. Like a magical display on the primordial ground of being. To the unenlightened, that magical display is samsara. To the enlightened, that magical display is nirvana. What is that magical display? The music you just heard in awareness just now. Where is that music? What is the ground? You, the awareness. On you, the ground, a magical display of music took place. We have just heard it. To the unenlightened, it is samsara. To the enlightened, it is nirvana. This, what is this? Oh, this is samsara, unenlightened. This, what is this? Oh, it is nirvana, it is moksha, it is Brahman, enlightened. Remember, the enlightened ones exist right here. Ramakrishna, Ramana Maharshi, Vivekananda, Ma Sharada, they existed right here, in bodies. But they claim to be free, moksha, jivan mukta. How so? Take away from this, in limitless awareness the music played and the music stopped. Limitless awareness is exactly the same, all through. Consider the samsara like that, the playing and stopping of the music. In you, the limitless awareness. We still have 10 minutes if you want to say something or questions. Yes.
So Swamiji, is this same as the Drishti Srishti Vada?
Yes, you can, from here you can easily understand Drishti Srishtivada. Yeah. That it's all arising in consciousness. What is Srishti Drishtivada? That the creation has been made and then we experience it. It will say that, no, he played the music and then it came through my ears and then I heard it in my consciousness. That's Srishti Drishtivada. I am awareness. Everything is arising in awareness. That is Drishti Srishtivada. Yes.
My name is Sridevi, thank you. I heard you say the word Ananda, and I assumed it was related to the word Ananda.
Ananda is bliss, yes.
When translated to bliss, it's hard to comprehend because we think it's happiness, hence related to the ego. When I heard the word Anantam, I had sort of this aha moment, but I want you to double check. In ignorance, we think we have limits, financial limits, health, relationship limits, and these create fear. As humans, we create these limitations or these boundaries. In the same way as humans, we might put a line of buoys in between a safe swimming area and the harbor, creating false limits. But water itself knows no limits. It moves freely, blissfully, between the two. If Ananta means limitless, then when we realize that we are limitless, we achieve Ananda.
Yes, that's beautifully put. He's connecting the two words, Anantam and Anandam. Actually, that's what Vedanta does. Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma. Satyam, reality. Jnanam, consciousness. Anantam, limitless. You would expect after reality and consciousness, existence and consciousness, you would expect Ananda, bliss to come. That's the usual way it's formulated. Existence, consciousness, bliss. But in Taittiriya Upanishad you find existence, consciousness, limitless is Brahman. Limitless is Ananda. Another Upanishad says, the vast alone is bliss. There is no bliss in the small, in the limited. There's a story of the little fish, the avatara, fish avatara. It came as a little fish, was put in a pot. It outgrew the pot. They put it in a bigger pot. It outgrew that. They put it in a little tank of water. It outgrew that. Then they put it in a pond. Then they put it in a river. It became bigger and bigger and bigger. Then they had to put it in the ocean. What does that mean? As we expand, we realize all of what seemed outside is nothing other than us. As body, we are really small. As consciousness, as being itself, we are vast. So this vastness itself will become the bliss. And someone might ask, forget all the philosophy. Am I going to be happy or not? That's the bottom line. Oh yes, you're going to be happy. Really, really happy. You just have to look at the lives of the saints. You see that they are very happy people. Deeply happy. Sort of unshakably happy. And happy spontaneously, not dependent on stuff outside. That formulation, in ignorance of that primordial ground of being, this magical display is samsara. In the knowledge of that primordial ground of being, this magical display becomes nirvana. What is that primordial ground of being? You. Which you? That limitless consciousness, which is there right now. You are it. And it will be proved. You know what proves it? Sounds morbid. When the body dies, if we can be conscious and watch it, and we see, oh, I thought that was me, but it's gone now, but I'm still here. And the mind is more easy to overcome because mental states keep changing. Right? I'm not this mental state, I'm not that mental state, so I'm not the mind. So I'm not the body mind. Then what am I? I am awareness. I am being. I am awareness. I am. And that I am has these two parts. I, the consciousness part, am, the existence part. And they're not two things. They're just the same thing. From one perspective it's existence, one perspective is consciousness. Yes.
Swami, my name is Bush. As an awareness, can I say I'm the center of the everything?
Yes. You're the center. We always think we are the center of everything. That is the function of the ego. But there is a trace of the truth there. The ego is not the center of everything because there are millions and billions of other egos, each thinking that I am the center of everything. But what's beyond the ego, behind the ego, underlying the ego truly is the center of everything. It is being consciousness. What is the center of all ornaments? What do all ornaments revolve around? Golden ornaments. Gold. What is at the heart of the ocean? All waves and bubbles and foam. Water. What is at the heart of all existing objects? Existence itself. What is at the heart of the center of all life experiences? Consciousness itself. What is at the heart of all pursuit of value and goodness? And it is Ananda itself. You are that. You are truly the center of everything, but not in the sense of the ego. This true center of everything is one in everybody. Somebody said, well, how will you prevent yourself from becoming egotistic or proud or arrogant if you are a Vedantin? So, I am Brahman, after all, I am the vast, I am limitless. But it's not that ego. The first thing you have to do in Vedanta is to transcend the ego, is to come out of the limit of the ego. You have to say not only that I have to be selfless, I have to be egoless. No, you're not. Vedanta is ruthless. You're not even the ego, it's a thing. The ego is an object. Then what you get as the witness of the ego is the limitless. That is the same for everybody.
At the experiential level, can we take prana as common to everybody to understand?
No, common to everybody. At every level there is oneness. So Vivekananda pointed this out. Look at it at the level of matter. It is one notion of matter. We think this is mine. No, he says this body is a whirlpool of matter. Continuously matter is flowing through it. We are always shedding actually. That's how the crime detectives, they find out about criminals, because we are always leaving traces of ourselves continuously. So it's a stream of matter. As matter, we are one notion of matter. As thought, we are one notion of thought and emotion. As prana, we are one notion of this biological energy. And as mind, ocean of mind. But truly, truly, we are one at the level of existence, consciousness, bliss. That you are. But oneness is reflected at every level of existence. At the physical, at the physiological, prana, what you said. At the psychological, but also finally at the spiritual level. Yes, Sunny.
Did you say this world that we see is a 3D version of the city in the mirror?
Yes, of course. And you are the mirror.
Yes.
You are not this person. This person is also part of the city in the mirror. The person, Sunny, yeah. Yes.
Swamiji, my name is Ramesh. Yesterday a statement was made, there is no free will. And I'm trying to reconcile with that. We have so many people who chose to sign up for a retreat, came for a retreat, they took actions to come. So I'm trying to contrast the statement.
That I will contrast it, I'll give it to you that there is free will. There is obviously free will. We out of our free will we chose to come here. All our choice, see our consumer choice, the entire markets, they are all predicated on free will, the free choice of the consumer. Then our political system is predicated on democracy, requires free will on part of the voter, on whom he will choose to vote for. Your ethical choice, our legal system is predicated on that the person, the criminal, has acted out of free will, then only is punishable. If you awards in gallantry system, if you reward military heroes and others, bravery, that's out of free will, otherwise there is no bravery involved there. So every system, and most of all religion and ethics, when you give advice, religious advice or ethical advice, even spiritual advice, all of that involves free will. Otherwise, what's the use of telling somebody to do this or do that if they can't do it? So yes, it's there, free will is there. Then you'll say, but you said there's no free will? But that's later. If you decide, if you're satisfied with that, there is free will. Fine. Why are you worried about it? But then why do you say there's no free will? When you investigate it scientifically, from neuroscience, from physics, philosophically, spiritually, there doesn't seem to be free will. In a deterministic universe, how can there be free will? Everything is cause and effect. Everything in this universe obeys the laws of physics, cause and effect. How is it that only one thing that these sentient beings, they don't obey, they have freedom to, I can be here or I can be there? Physics will tell you, no you can't. There is a certain vector of forces which is pushing you along. How can you choose? There's no choice. If there's cause and effect, there's no choice. From the very beginning of the Big Bang till now, theoretically, everything has been caused. So determinism means that there's no free will. You can have an illusion of free will. You think you have free will, but no. Neuroscience goes further along, and they scan the brain to show that what you think, you said, I have freely decided to do this. The neuroscientist will say that I can see in your brain this is happening, even before you feel you have decided. That means your brain has decided before you feel you have decided. Your so-called feeling of deciding is an epiphenomenon. It's a byproduct. The brain just sort of out of courtesy lets you feel that you are deciding. But the brain has decided. Yeah, there's this neuroscientist, Sapolsky, determined. I haven't read the whole, I just started, it's a very complex, a big book. But he says this is the 21st century conclusion of a leading neuroscientist. He says as far as neuroscience goes, there's no free will. Everything is determined. And in spiritual life, they say it's all God's will. Everything here is being, Sri Ramakrishna says even a leaf doesn't move without the will of God. Then where is your free will? So, this is the paradox. All right. And the gentleman there, then we'll come to you.
So I guess the last thing you said about the paradox, so that is what I think I want you to come back to, because our mind has taken us so deep into non-duality, and as we go deeper and deeper into this, we are coming across lots of paradoxes. So, and is the paradox appears because of our intellect, and what you said earlier, that the consciousness or whatever transcends the intellect, and are we get stuck on these paradoxes because of the intellect, and if we believe consciousness transcends the intellect, then maybe we should worry too much about these paradoxes. Is there one way to think about it, or there is a way to think about these paradoxes?
Correct. The paradoxes appear, according to Vedanta, you would expect paradoxes to appear if Vedanta is true. If it is all Maya, all of this is an appearance from ignorance, and if you investigate it, and then it will bottom out not into a solution of everything, but into paradoxes. At every level, at the deepest level, in every science, you'll get paradoxes. There's a book, Impossibility, John Barrows. He's a mathematical physicist. He says that we find that in every field of scientific inquiry, by 19th century we felt it would all be complete in 100 years or so, physics, biology, but in every field we're running up against paradoxes. It's not getting completed. There's something in mathematics called the Hilbert program. David Hilbert, at the end of 19th century, he proposed some 20 problems or something like that. I mean, I'm not a mathematician can tell you more about it. And said that if those problems are solved, mathematics will be complete. But what happened in the 20th century? Along comes Gödel. And he shows his incompleteness theorem. It cannot be completed. That's the very nature of mathematics. Paradoxes come. Then people thought that physics will be complete. Along comes Einstein, relativity. After that comes Heisenberg, uncertainty. Rebecca Goldstein, in her book on Gödel, she starts with an introduction. She says, look at what was expected in science at the end of the 19th century and what happened in 20th century. Then in 20th century, the greatest scientific discoveries, theoretically, are relativity, the incompleteness theorem, and uncertainty. You see relativity, uncertainty, incompleteness. What was expected at the end of 19th century science? Not relativity, they expected absoluteness. Not inconsistency, they expected a consistent completion to all the fields. Not incompleteness, they expected completeness. And when you pushed the inquiry further, you ran up against these paradoxes. In a general sense, they are a paradox. This is Rebecca Goldstein in her book on Gödel. But what struck me as a Vedantin is the words, not take them out of the scientific context, relativity, uncertainty, and incompleteness. Heisenberg's uncertainty and incompleteness. These are just words used for Maya. So, if it is true that it is born, this world that we are perceiving as such, it does not exist the way we think it does, then if you inquire further, you will come up against paradoxes. And that's what's happening. It's not a sign of failure of science. It's a sign of advanced science. Yeah. You would expect that to happen. Yes.
Swamiji, also in Vedanta they use the paradoxes to explain Vedanta, right? If the nearest, then the nearest.
Paradoxical, I didn't mention that it's beyond language. We said Sakala Bhaga Gocharam, but someone might object at that point. All of Vedanta is language. So you are using language to teach Atman, Brahman and all that. How? If language cannot reach Brahman, if the ultimate reality transcends language, then how or why are you using language? Because we have no other way. And how do we use language? So Vedanta has evolved strategies. It's not literally true that it's beyond language. It's just that technically it's beyond language. There are strategies to overcome this. For example, if you cannot say what it is, can you say what it is not? Neti neti, not this, not this. It's called the via negativa. The negative way of. So language cannot determine the ultimate reality, but it can tell us what it is not. Or paradoxical language. Further than the furthest, nearer than the nearest, larger than the largest, smaller than the smallest. Same thing is larger than the largest and smaller than the smallest. How? But you know how. Consider your nature as pure consciousness. Is it larger than the largest? Yes, because time, space, all of it floats in consciousness. Is it smaller than the smallest? Yes. It is subtler, smaller in the sense of subtler than even the tiniest atom. Those are objects to consciousness. Consciousness is even subtler than that. Is it further than the furthest? Shankara explains. To those who do not know it, it's further than the furthest. Atman, Brahman, pure consciousness. Those who know it, it's nearer than the nearest because they are it. All these paradoxes can be resolved if you have a sense of what is meant by Vedanta. You will say, yeah, it matches. A third way of doing this, so one is the negative language. The second one is paradoxical language. The third one is storytelling. The lion who grew up as a sheep, the washerman's diamond. All of these are stories trying to. Metaphors can be used. But no metaphor is perfect. We just read this, Nirupaman hivad, Nirupamana hiyad. That which has no metaphor to explain it. Last question and we are going to go for lunch.
I experienced blankness and emptiness, but I didn't see Brahman. I didn't know what I was supposed to experience.
Yes. Very good. You asked this and you also asked this. What are we supposed to meditate upon? I don't get it. She's saying, I can at most, if I still everything, a blankness. You can try it right now. You can go up to a blankness. Answer to both your questions. Here, you experienced a blankness. But you experienced it. What is it that was experiencing the blankness? What was it? It was clearly you. But what kind of you? What was it made of?
Weakness.
Yeah. Always, what you're doing is you don't have to see it. Exactly. Now that's the thing to answer to you. See, both of you have got the solutions for each of these questions. You cannot, you did, but you said I understand what you're saying, Swami, but I didn't see the witness. I didn't have any experience of the witness. Good. Yes and no. You had the experience of the witness because you were witnessing the blankness. That's it. Nothing more. Don't expect any more than that. If you experience the witness, it would be an object like the blankness. Don't try to experience the witness. Answer to your question, what are we supposed to meditate upon? That question shows a tendency of the mind to strongly objectify something. Give me something to hold on to. So if I give you the breath to hold on to, breathe in and breathe out, you're satisfied. Here is the breath. Good. If I give you a mantra, hold on to, Om Namah Shivaya. Okay, I get it. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. If I give you a visualization to do, visualize Shiva or Kali in your heart shining. Okay, that's difficult, but I can do that. But if I remove all objects, what are we supposed to meditate? You're trying to objectify that which is not an object. That's why you get this feeling of being at sea. There's nothing for me to grasp. You're taking away everything that I'm grasping. So the way to do it is, otherwise you'll get a headache. The way to do it is, just stay there and see what I am not, until what I am becomes obvious. Don't try to force yourself to see consciousness, pure being, limitless awareness. Those are just words. But what you can do is clearly be aware, this is a body. I am not a body. I am that which is aware of the body. This is the breath. I am not the breath. It's an object. It's coming and going. I am that which is aware of the breath. These are thoughts. These are emotions. These are memories. I am not them because they are all objects. I can clearly see them coming and going. I don't come and go. Just stay strongly with them that I am not this body. I am not the mind. I am not the ego. I am not the memory. Just stay with that. It won't take long. It will become clear to you what you are. That is non-dual meditation. Very good. Let's go for...
The final turnaround.
Yes, that final turnaround, there, if you try to do the final turnaround, usually our final turnaround is trying to objectify that. That will not work. The final turnaround is, I am that, without objectifying it. I'll give you one very practical hint. A sadhu told me. I said in general, not me, everybody told. Anant banne ki jid mat karo Mahatma ji. Don't insist on becoming limitless. Don't insist, don't strain, don't insist on becoming pure consciousness. Because that insistence, that straining is objectifying. You'll never become it. Either you'll get a headache or you'll catch hold of something like the mind or some idea and think, I've got it. That's what the Kena Upanishad teacher says. If you think you've got it, you have not got it. So don't try it. Then try what? I want to try something. Please give me something to try, something to do. Okay, put the emphasis on seeing why I am not what I thought I was. What's your name? Savari. So I am not this person, Savari. Savari is a body, is a mind, a personality, a name. I am the witness of that. Try to stay there. Then what you are will become obvious by itself.
But there was no thought at that time.
Good. What you are is not a thought. It does not need a thought. It will become obvious. You try to go to that blank state and just remember, before going into the blank state, I am the witness of the blank state. The food is getting cold. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Jai Ram Krishna.